today, and we're looking at the process of the software setup. So I'm going to pass you over to Gary to take us through the process.
Okay, just processing a new order here that's been sent us. The first thing we'll need to do is open our Zendesk, check the order. Just go to my bookmarks and find my Zendesk. Leave this one. And I go to my home. And I've got a new order created here. Dantest.
Okay.
So the next thing we need to do now is we need to open up a Nexus portal to start processing the order. I'll created by the home screen there, and then go down to projects for our new order. And we're searching for a customer who we now know from our Zendesk is Dan. Dantest, select customer. We'll see here we'll have an order for 2 orders for Dan. So this is the order we're going to process today. So first thing we want to do is edit the order because it's connection sheet approved. I'm going to edit the order and set this connection sheet to in progress. I'm the person who's going to be handling the order, so I need to allocate myself as the project manager.
Okay. Would that always be you, Gary, or would that
that's
alternate?
Who individually picks up the order. So if it was an order that Dan was doing, then Dan will be the project manager, likewise Chris or Nathan or any of the guys downstairs who's picking up an order. So you're assigning it to yourself as the person who's going to process the order from start to finish the whole way through. So select myself there. We need to see the job type to order rather than service call. And we also need to assign it to a supplier. Supplier is somebody who carries out a service for us, i.e. the installation of the product.
Okay. I'm sorry, can I just point to see up above there the priority? Do you ever change it from medium? Does it ever go to high or low, or does it generally by default stay?
Normally medium.
Okay.
We would have a slightly different dashboard on Excel one that Chris kind of manages as an order and priority list, if you like. So it's not used by Zendesk, it's more something Chris would scope out.
Yeah.
So again, as I said, we just allocate our supplier. Roller down to the bottom here. We've got our 2 documents that need to be processed for the order. So we download those. There's the first one download, and the second one, I'm just leave them down to the bottom of our documentation. Now, first thing I'll do now, I will save our status, and then we'll go down and we'll start the order. A few things that we need to do to get the order going is we need to get a blank Excel on the go. So we'll just open up an Excel document.
There we're checking those.
Yeah. And we'll just highlight all and format cells to text. Okay.
Yeah.
Then we need to start exporting our documentation from Nexus. We just jump back to Nexus and we'll see our Dantest 02 project. We want to go to bulk export, look for said project, and the devices being worked on were Palm standard and Squirrel standard as per the order.
Okay. So we do one at a time today,
we're doing one at a time, correct. And we just export the project data.
Just a question on that, Gary. When we decided to put on 2 and then change it to 1, is that best standard to do one at a time? Or
to use a tab on the Excel document, do 2 separate tabs for each product.
Okay.
So each product has its own tab, if you like. So if there was several products on the order, if it was Calamp, a Squirrel, a DVR, and a Digi, we would have 4 different tabs on the bottom of the Excel document opened. So if we go back to our Excel, and we paste in our Calamp data up here. And now we want to rename the sheet down at the bottom. Rename as Calamp. Okay, then we need to open another sheet for our Squirrel data. Just bounce back to Nexus again. And reset the data here. Remove our Calamp. And look for our Squirrel standard. Export the project data, which again is copied to our clipboard. Back to our blank Excel. right click and paste. And we'll just rename this again down this end, rename to so that's our both of our tabs populated there. Just expand on both of them.
Mhm.
Now, the next thing we want to do is go back and update our Zendesk ticket as to what progress we've done so far. So we just go back to our order created. Order started. Connection sheet supported. Status set to in progress. So these are all internal from the sanity check, as we like to call it, as we go along.
And you wouldn't initial that or anything, Gary, that the system would pick up?
Because it's my ticket one, it's always on my queue anyway, and I'm always I'm the assignee.
Shows your name. Oh,
Yeah, it just shows me the amount and it corresponds to that ticket. Everybody knows that I've been doing that ticket, and it's also down here as well. So we need to go back now to our Excel document and save it in the relevant folder before we make any more amendments to it. So we save as, browse, and we want to go to our Board Docs, connection sheets, and then November and November 22. What change the name on this? We'll go and copy exactly what's on the Nexus document as to what the what we're saying on that. So customer name is Dan Test, so we just copy that. Back to our Excel. So we get Dan Test space. Again, back to Nexus for the project ID. We like to have both of them, the project and customer name. Back to our Excel document again. Yes, save. I just basically make the document separate auto save now as well, so any amendments we make automatically saved. So the next process is to go and have a quick read of the notes on the document here. It's just Dan's notes here, and what I normally do is I would grab the notes and paste them up back into my Zendesk ticket.
Typically notes to say, well, one might be like bespoke wiring, or maybe, bespoke deal, or a certain engineer that might need to complete the work. That'll be included on those note sections.
Okay.
Yeah, and sorry, who would create those notes, and when would they be created, from the offset, or?
That would be the BDM, the salesperson.
The salesperson, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we just submit that as open. Yeah, that's what I say. It's just every stage I always make a note on Zendesk as and when we go, just to avoid any confusion. You get pulled away or a phone call, whatever. You can jump straight back in, straight back out again. You know where you are with things, So we go back to our connection sheet, and now it's time to start populating our units on the connection sheet. So we need to open up People stock management sheet.
And I have made 2 tests. If you use the second from the bottom, I'd added some red today just for the test here.
Okay, so we need to go to our Calump 4G LMU.
See the Cubo stock management sheet we're on here. That seems to be used quite a lot by numerous people. Is that like a live document that gets updated in real time?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we need to just basically pull our information from here.
I would use the second to last there today.
Yep.
Use the
Populate our connection sheet with these details. So the first thing we grab is the IMEI. And we fed our IMEI field here, paste it in. Expand that back to Cubo, grab our ESN. Copy. And expand again. Back of our SIM number. And then,
Sorry, can I just ask a question on this here? I know we're using this as an example, and Dan, I think you said it's the second last one there. So if we're doing this as a real example, how do we identify which one it is on the?
You use the next in line there, Owen, so we kind of have it color coded today. If you just open the stock management sheet there, if you scroll up. We all have a staff legend on one of the tabs on the left-hand side. So whenever you're allocating an order or doing service work, you basically highlight to show that you're going to claim that unit, and then we green it off at the end once it's actually been processed and left the building.
so you can see there all the. Okay, we're back down again. We get our firmware version, which is typically always the same because it's the units that come in, which will be 86C, I believe.
Might be worth showing on CTC today if we punch in the IMEI just to show where we get it from.
Yep. So the firmware is 86C is standard. We'll put it in the CTC as Dan says here.
Mm-hmm.
So you just grab the IMEI, copy. I've got CTC on here. It's got bookmarks. Right down the bottom.
Explain, Gary. What are we trying to retrieve here?
We're just getting the firmware version of the CalAmp.
Okay.
We're talking about the old version, is it that?
Possibly, but it'll do the same trick anyway.
I don't know what it does. Hang on, sorry, apologies.
But another will have a wee look.
Thanks. Don't worry, still have the other one on my list. Yeah, just paste in our IMEI here. Now let me see our firmware version there, it's 86C, just to clarify.
Okay. Yeah.
That's our firmware version for our connection sheet. So firmware version 86C. And then the config version, because this is a fuel unit, is 10.1, I believe.
Yeah, we're going for 10.1.
And that's always the case with this.
Always the case for this product, yeah, for Fuel Smart, it's always 10.1, yeah.
10.1. Okay.
Okay, so that's that side populated. Now we need to go back to our stock management sheet. We have this red off here, but red is not my color. I'm going to change this to my color, which is green. We mark on here Dan test, the registration number, which we get from our connection sheet. Which is vehicle, very long.
That's what it says in the thing.
That's what it says in the thing, yeah. Back a lot of into our registration number here. And then we need to get the project ID also from we get this from Nexus actually. With me, 2 seconds. Nexus project ID. Back to product management and get our project ID. Ooh, I'm there.
It's copied everything there.
Yeah, do that. Again.
The mic is copied maybe.
Project ID here. So then we want our next product, which was the Swirl.
Is there, sorry, G'day, maybe fields at the right there, is there?
Yes, there is indeed, not correct. So we've got our config version, which we know is 10.1. We've got our firmware, which is 86C. Date assigned, which is today, which is 311 dash.
The numbers as well.
Yeah. Just going on again. Yep, dash 2. And that's it done. We also need to go find our squirrel. Now again, that has them marked off for us again, so we need to populate our connection sheet with these details. Copy. Firmware version. And then a config. Config is come on.
Just config is DCF. Okay.
That's a DCF, yeah. And again, go back to our stock management sheet and just green off everything we've selected there. Customer test. Registration number is that big long one again.
Mhm.
Big painful time of you watching the videos in slow motion. You're like 100 miles an hour and I'm in slow motion, so
Sure, it shows clearly if you're going nice and slow, G'day.
yeah. Back stock management. Yeah.
And it might just be something to mention there, everyone, while we're looking at it. Anything at the bottom that has a green tab on it is new stock, and anything there, as you see, you'll have service stock in yellow beside it. So for orders, we only use the green, and for any in life, we use the yellow stock items.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so back to our connection sheet, which is now completed. What we need to do is we need to re-import this back into Nexus. So if we go to Calum, get that ready, go back to Nexus. Back to bulk import and export again.
Right.
Same project. So we go to our squirrel. World standard. Export the data, we put it on the clipboard, but we don't need that now because we've already done this, but we need to re-import it. Again, select all, copy this. Back to Nexus. Paste in here,
Okay.
tick the box for include header rule and process the data. This now brings down the other window here, which we have a quick check on all the stuff we've just done. All highlighted in green there. So there's a serial number, firmware version, or data that we've added on the document. We can confirm that's okay. Select and save vehicles. So the squirrel is now imported. We have to re-import the Calum now.
Yeah.
And reset this. Move that. Calum standard. Export the data again. Back to our connection sheet. And our Calum. Select all, copy. Back to Nexus again. Paste in. Process the data. And again, we can see our fields that we've changed. There's a registration number. We also have the ASN SIM number, firmware version, config, and IMEI. So happy with that. Save vehicles. So now the connection sheet's just been added back into Nexus. I'll go and update Zendesk quickly. Connection sheet. Completed. One, two. Nexus. So the next stage then is to, where are we?
Should be down.
Yeah, let's go down and check all our stuff has imported correctly, so we'll go down and we'll look at Dan's registration number. Which
Still stay on Nexus for this bit.
Stay on Nexus for this bit, yeah. All we want to do is we'll edit the project we've just created and amended there. So you just click on the edit button. And we gotta make sure that all our products we have filtered through to the job here. And if we look down, there's our CALM, ESN number, SIM number, and our squirrel details.
And Gary, would you advise for doing this? Would you reconcile with go back to the Excel documents, go back and
You can go back to
just-
the Excel and check. Yeah, there's no problem at all. You can clarify that. So if you just have a quick look back there, we can see our ESN ends in 7656. And again, 7656. It's
Yeah.
always good practice to go back and check, especially in an order for like multiple ones.
Yes.
If
yes.
you don't use if you don't use the tick box, what can happen is it can drop the first product.
Yeah.
So you may have squirrel data there, but you don't have any CalAmp data. But so you always make sure the box is ticked and go in and give her a quick check. At this stage as well, we'll have the supplier allocated, Dan test supplier. We also need to allocate an engineer to the project. So we collect this.
So can you just ask something, Gary, before we move on to that? The Nexus won't prompt you if there's a mistake. So say the SIM's losing a digit there, that won't say you're losing a digit. It's up for.
What will happen on the previous set there, when we were confirming all the details were correct? Basically, the SIM number would be let out red
Okay.
as an error.
Understood. Okay.
And it won't let you complete the process until you fix that.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you can go back and you can check your details in case there may be in a case of the Excel document that you have deleted a digit or you have put in a row space.
Yeah.
So, yep.
You might need to change the supplier, Gary.
I'm just thinking that would change the supplier. Just cancel that. We'll just save that detail.
To be fair, it could be chopped and changed depending on who's installing it anyway.
Yeah,
So
we're just gonna go back and change our engineer here. This is the one in progress. We're gonna change this to,
to be more to you, no?
yeah, change it to NABC. NABC. Save that.
The only reason we had the amended there, sorry, was because I don't have an engineer set up against my test login here, so I'm just changing it so there's an engineer associated to it.
So back to the Dan test. We'll see who.
Possibly.
It's the wrong one. We'll go to that.
Down at the bottom, yeah, that's the one.
That's the one. Select this, Dan VC, and we'll get the best engineer in the world. Look at that. That'll be great. And save. So now I've allocated an engineer to that project. We'll just go and update the Zendesk.
Just a suppose side note on that as well, Owen, the reason that we're associating products and the details to the engineer is once they go to the testing phase, they have a version of Nexus on an app. So it gives them all the details of the job and the work that they have to complete. Then when they get this assigned, they'll see a job that they have to complete, which would be the fuel smart.
Yes. Yes. And I take it the engineer in the field wants as much information as possible.
Indeed. So let's update our Zendesk as to what we've done so far. Click open again, and that's that side done for now. Okay, so now we need to actually put a config onto the unit itself. So we'll close down CTC and we'll open up our connection sheet again. We need to tell the CalAmp what configuration it's to have. So if we go to our CalAmp CTC login again.
Says devices beside it.
The other one is two. Reason for clearing it. And we'll grab our I mean, I already saying off our units here. This in the CTC. Search port. We'll see here the config version set to 255.1, which is our Roman config. We need now to apply a config to this unit and we create a job for it. So we select side box here, opens up another menu. This is the section here you want to create the job. And give it a second, it'll sort itself out. The firmware is automatically set by Calamp itself and will update as and when a firmware becomes available. So we have no need to do that. We'll remove that from our list here. You just select a file, which we've already stipulated was 10.1. Select the CTC's automatically given it a job with the ESN number and what the process is here. Typically in here, we will enter the project ID of the job that we're doing on the order. So if we jump back to our Cubo stock management and get our project ID up here and add in as the description and create the job. And now the unit actually knows whenever it's first fired up, but the config to be applied is 10.1 and it'll download it direct from CTC. Another good procedure here as well is to move the customer from our Cubo stock group to the customers group.
Might just go NABC on that again.
Yeah,
Because we have a test one.
Yeah, so we go to bulk, edit group, and we need to check NABC, say NABC TTTU test group, and add and submit.
Okay.
So that is the CTC side of things done. Now we want to find the stock registration of the unit itself on our back-end office, our BOHUB office. So in order to do that, we just open a new tab and go to our BOHUB, sign in, and we're searching for an asset. So to find the asset, then if we go and grab the serial number of the device.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wrong. Sorry, the IMEI. And search under assigned IMEIs. This will bring up the unit. With the stock reg. This can be confirmed on the Cubo stock management as well. As 2704.
It's a
Squirrel, yeah. Five 559. So we want to amend this to the new details for the customer. The registration number is taken from the connection sheet. Paste, and save.
Okay, nothing else we change there. Okay.
Nothing else changed apart from this field that needs to be removed. Save. Now reflects the new registration of the customer, and
tracking unit will probably.
the tracking is if you go to the tracking unit itself, click on the separate tab here. This brings it in actually to the device itself, which is set up in our back end as a basic Calamp. We need now to amend that to reflect the fuel box Squirrel connected. So we change this from basic Calamp to Calamp on Squirrel engine off driver ID. Select that. That enables the Calamp to report in fuel that. We also have to set a date at this stage as to when the unit was processed, which is always today's date. And save. So now the unit is configured correctly.
Just assign it to a group.
We need to assign it to a group. So if we go to assign asset, and our Cubo group is under staff, isn't it?
I think we would go for staff in this instance. obviously we have a lot of lists there on the predetermined customers who are already existing. So in the scenario, this is a test, obviously, but we'd just be allocating it to the correct customers group. So we're going to use Cubo staff in this example.
Staff, and then it's great for the back office to sort itself out. And we're looking for, what's your registration, Dan?
And
Something?
a systemology test, I believe.
Dan. Systemology test, that's our registration number. Click on it and it's there. It's now populated into the Cubo stock group. If we just close that window, we can confirm that it's there. If we open a new tab and log on to my Cubo, which again is way down the bottom again.
Yeah,
It's Dave now. Yeah,
it's just my keyboard or online. Great.
Sign in. And now if we just go to Cubo staff and type in Dan, we should see Dan's test take up there. And there we are. The last notification was on this date and it was set up.
And like I say, it wouldn't actually, once we've associated to this group one, and once we've obviously set the config, these don't actually apply until the unit gets powered, which is the point of installation. So this looks grand for now. We obviously test it then once it gets installed.
Okay.
So the next stage is we go and update Zendesk again as to what we've done. It's changed on both of them. Config set on CTC and group set on CTC.
Send to customer group.
Yep. Send to customer group on both of them. Right. That'd be great. So when that is open again.
Sim attributes, I think.
Yes, the attributes will be next. So again, people are take it back open again. We need to go and amend the SIM attributes for this. We need the Vodafone portal.
Okay.
We click on this and NPM, the Vodafone portal. And log in. Wait for Vodafone to load up, which can be a bit slow sometimes. Which is created by the home screen here in the search bar up the top. We need to paste in our SIM number from the connection sheet. So we go back, grab our SIM card number. And we see down here, this is the SIM attributes, the customer's name, the vehicle registration, and all the relevant fields that we need to populate.
Okay.
We need to edit this. We know this is brand test, or test. Test. Vehicle registration is the long.
Systemology test, right?
Back here, grab our registration number. Next field is our IMEI. And then also our PSN. No, that's a count. To see if.
Okay.
Let's wait for Vodafone to pick itself back up again.
I think the only thing we maybe missed, Guy, would be worth showing is where we look to see the DCF. So just the file path. So depending on the make, model and year, depends on the DCF itself.
Yeah, so we went ahead and put on as trucks as standard. So to in order just to clarify the DCF then of the vehicle that we're fitting here, we have the DCF down as the DAP trucks config. Just to clarify where we get that information from, that's from the Squirrel support matrix. So if we just minimize this, we go to our support documents here. Support docs. We're looking under Cubo products, Squirrel. We also want to see the Squirrel supported vehicle list. Yeah, and here it opens up a new window. We're looking for heavy commercial vehicles here. Except the cookies. Basically, this whole document here gives us every vehicle that Squirrel supports. DAF CS, your DAF LF, tells you the make, the year it's from, and the range. Typically, everything that's a HGV will be on this truck's DAP config. And the only really variations of these would be if you're installing the likes of a van or whatever, by Volkswagen or Ford, then you require a different DCF. But as standard installation, it's always trucks, and that's where the information comes from. I don't think there's anything much more to say on that.
I think that's, I get to say your some attributes.
Yeah, it's back here and just some attributes. Well, then we need to go and raise a BOHub invoice and attach our documentation to it.
I think that's possible.
That's done.
The software setup, I believe, in this.
Okay, that's fine.
I think that is everything covered off there, Owen, on this project.
Okay, thank you. So just that just very last step there, that was on Zendesk, and you're just leaving that last activity note. Last comment. Okay, perfect. Okay, I'll just stop recording. Thank you.
It is.